The thing about this show, the mother daughter experiment, is that it's actually terrible. It gets very repetitive. And I know that they try to do like one episode for each week, but this could have genuinely been like a four episoder. They could have combined some weeks because I started to realize, like, okay, we're kind of just doing the same shit. You know what I mean? So I'm going to just finish up the season. There's episode 6, 7, and 8. I'm just going to finish them all right now because it got to a point where I was like, huh, yeah, I could see why this didn't become a whole series that they did multiple seasons of. In episode 6, I don't know if like I'm the problem, but Josie gets the cover of Harper's Bazaar, and it would mean she'd have to leave like the last day. And I think I'm an asshole because I was like, well, she should go. The cover of Harper's Bazaar, that's huge. But it turns into like, I swear, Natalie just hates Josie. And so she like eggs on Jessica to be like, because she's messy. So she's like, yeah, she should stay because she values your relationship. I'm like, honestly, guys, this is still just a job. And like, I think it was literally one like the last day. And when you see what the last day was, it's just like that ceremony where they have to sit there and talk to each other in front of Dr. Deb. I'm like, you could have let her go, guys. You could have let her go. But so in episode 6, they split up the moms and the daughters. So the daughters go to lunch, and Josie, I don't know if Josie overheard Natalie talking to her mom about like, oh, she shouldn't go to the magazine shoot or whatever. But Josie's like, I saw a TMZ fight of you, Natalie, in the streets. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Yeah, TMZ put it up. There was another girl in it too. And Natalie is pissed. And I'm like, duh, of course. But then later, the daughters go in for their session with Dr. Deb, and the moms go to lunch. Here's Heidi just Heidi is talking to children. She's talking to 19-year-olds. And she's like, I think your moms judge me and don't want you hanging out with me. But then Josie goes, well, I'm like 19, so I can't be drinking in this environment. And she goes, if we met in a different scenario, you would be getting a different Josie, meaning like then I could get drunk and like get fucked up with you guys. But Dr. Deb does not pick up on this and is like, wait, I need you to make good TV for this TV show. So if you're not being honest, then that's not what this is for. But then Natalie pounces on this opportunity because she's been saying Josie's fake. And now that Josie's Googled her and brought up the fight, it's over. Okay. Over. Natalie tells Kimberly that they could be relating in so many other ways, but they can't connect because I feel like there are a few moms who will say something or blacklist us or judge us. You got to know if you are drinking heavily every single night and there are moms there with their children who are under 21, you got to imagine that the moms would probably not be like, go hang with them. Like they can't. They don't want them drinking with you guys. This opens Kimberly up and she does admit that she doesn't try things because she doesn't want to fail and disappoint her mom. And then she goes, there's nothing wrong with that. Dr. Deb's like, well, it's not great. It's not great when you're not doing things that you want to do just because it would upset your mom. And she's like, I guess you're right. Courtney says that their issues really started when they were starting to get attention from guys at 12, by the way. The guys would tell Courtney, I don't want to come over here anymore because your mom is hitting on me. And she never told Courtney any of this until Doug started to point it out. And then oh God, it was so sad. Courtney goes, Doug is guilty for protecting me because he doesn't want me to have a relationship with her because of how hurt I am. And I'm like, oh, it kind of feels I mean, it's the problem is Doug isn't wrong, but Doug is also the groomer. And so it's like triangulation and it's so bad. And here's Dr. Deb totally oblivious to that. Dr. Deb's talking head is we still haven't hit the core issue. And the missing piece is Doug. I mean, Dr. Deb goes, okay, daughters, go get your mom so we can try to wrap this up. So they play a game where they match up what they wrote about in terms of like the traits they want and don't want from each other. And Natalie actually gets deep pretty quick. So she wishes she inherited her mom's caring side because she runs people off with her attitude. And I don't know why I don't care. And this becomes like too much for her. And Dr. Deb, of course, just lets Natalie walk out of the room in tears and is like, let me remind you guys of the lines I have to say. This exercise is an exercise in what traits you want to inherit. Like, it's just, okay, Dr. Deb, fine, go get Natalie. And Natalie has a breakthrough. She's like, I don't care. Why do I not care? And Dr. Deb's like, it seems like you do care. And then she's like, okay, what it is that my mom, I saw her sad all the time. And I didn't like that. It made me feel like I never want to be like that. So as soon as I start to see that, I snap. So, I mean, it was like kind of a breakthrough. So then Natalie joins the group and tells her mom that she does care about her feelings. And I didn't know how to feel about it until now. Like, wow, Dr. Deb, you're so great. So then Dr. Deb releases them. But Natalie now is so raw and is on a mission to not feel what she's feeling and goes and proceeds to start getting very drunk. Meanwhile, Dr. Deb talks to Courtney about her brilliant idea to bring Doug to therapy. And Courtney's like, I just feel though like I'm in a good place with my mom. And Dr. Deb goes, it's not real. It's not real. For your sake, if you really want to try to have a relationship with your mom, you'll do it. You'll never have a better opportunity than this. Dr. Deb was like, we need this drama for this television show. And he will be coming out tomorrow. But then Courtney calls Doug, and this can't be the first time Doug's hearing this, right? Production had to have called him already, right? But they're like, definitely, we're not telling Krista. It's so bad. Natalie is now over to her. She is so drunk now, and she loves to call out Josie for wanting to leave. And look, I'd be all for talking about the brat that is Josie because, you know, why not? But I feel again, like I'm like, this kind of just feels like something that she should go and do. And she's here working on this shit with her mom. And Jessica kind of sucked as a mom, clearly. And I don't know. I'm probably the wrong one here. But Natalie is on this wind up. You can feel it just gathering momentum like a snowball rolling down the mountain. And she's like, I hear you guys fighting in the rooms. And then you guys come out acting like everything's fine. And so Natalie's on this thing about not having the doors closed, and has Cassie right, leave your door open, write that. And Karen is like, I need to get out of here. She's like, fuck, this is not going to go well. Then Natalie's going down the hallway yelling, everybody's going to have their fucking doors open around here. Y'all thought you were going to get sleep tonight? I hope your door is open because if it's not, I'm kicking it in. I'm like, Karen couldn't do anything though. There was nothing Karen could have done. But the next day, we'll get there. I just thought it was really annoying how the next day Karen was like, Natalie wasn't being aggressive. I'm like, look, I know Kim was a part of it, but like I was scared. The girls were walking off. So Kimberly and Cassie, Natalie looks to them when they come in the kitchen because Natalie's on her thing being like, they Googled me. People are Googling me around here. And she's on this whole kick about it. And Cassie and Kimberly come in right as she's talking about it. And she's like, who fucking Googled me today? And they both are deer in headlights. They're not sure what to say. They're like, I don't know. And it's so much, it's so much to like have that kind of yelling come at you. So then the girls try to leave. Cassie tries to walk away, but then Natalie goes after them. So Kim, something's wrong with me because I actually was like, I would like security to be doing what Kim is doing. No one was stopping Natalie. Like they were trying to get away and Natalie keeps coming after them. So Kim like grabs Natalie's face at one point. Kim is a fucking gangster, dude. I know I shouldn't be supporting this, but like production certainly wasn't going to jump in and be like, okay, there has to come a point where, yes, we've stuck you all in a house together, but there has to be some boundaries. There can't just be, but this is old school. This is some old school shit where they just did whatever they needed to do. So Cassie, though, meanwhile, Cassie is having a panic attack while this is going on. Kim has gotten in their face. It's madness. It's absolutely madness. So into the next episode, Cassie is still, I mean, this panic attack, where was the medic? Like, this was a legit panic attack. She was shaking. She needed help breathing. Kim was not helping. If anyone's having a panic attack, you do slow breathing. And Kim going, breathe out, breathe out. No, no, no. Inhale, exhale, get a rhythm. You want to almost be counting it. So no one was helping her. But Natalie at first seems like she was not going to have any remorse for this. So she's like, I wasn't that aggressive. And I go, uh-oh. But then she does open up in the group. And she's like, I'm actually upset. I am embarrassed. I don't like getting mad. And then she goes, I guess my communication last night was not right. And that would have pissed me off too, because then Kim chimes in and is like, well, you were scary. And then Kimberly actually is like, stop. Okay, you don't have to talk for me, Mom. Okay, you don't have to talk for me. I can, like, what you did with Natalie made it worse. But Heidi's like, Kim showed her true colors, because let's not forget, Kim balled out Heidi. So Heidi's like, yes, fuck you, Kim. You showed your true colors. But Kim busts out some fake tears too. She's like, I have had bad experiences. And Karen cuts in and is like, I'm so sorry. Karen says something wild, and I would like to dissect it just a tiny bit. She goes, just a few minutes before, I'm in the mudroom with Kim, and she's talking about how she was almost choked on set, and this person tried to kill her. And the next thing I know, she's fighting with Natalie. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Let's back that up. What did she say? She said, what? She said, who tried to kill, who choking her? Okay, please explain that. Please go back to that part. But Karen, I thought I know she was trying to defend Natalie, but I'm like, okay, you cannot say Natalie wasn't aggressive at all. You genuinely cannot fucking say that, because she was. So that was weird. But Cassie, Cassie is amazing. She steps in and she goes, look, I didn't walk away because I don't like you. I personally, the energy was giving me anxiety. That's my issue. That's not your issue. I still like you. I still want to be your friend. I still think you're great. I know it's something that you're working on. I just was walking away because I was going to get an anxiety attack. I'm like, Cassie should be leading these therapy sessions. Cassie has her head on her shoulders. I love her. Hello, She's Speaking with Emily Hanks listeners. Today's episode is proudly brought to you by Lola V, an award-winning hair care line by the fabulous Jennifer Aniston. That's right. Jen got tired of the damage and the struggle of having to choose between hair products that work and ones that are actually good for us. So Lola V is created with the finest natural clinical ingredients and ensures your hair feels as luxurious and carefree as a summer breeze. You can say goodbye to sun damage, tangled hair, and hello to shine, strength, and elegance. Think of Lola V as your personal hair spa. It offers not just summer-proof hair care, but an aroma-infused escape from the heat. The signature scent, by the way, it's giving zesty citrus, calming rose petals, vibrant lemongrass, cooling green tea, earthy woods, maybe a little hint of subtle musk. Picture yourself beginning your day wrapped in this invigorating aroma, turning your daily hair care routine into a little slice of summertime paradise. Harness the power of summer shine with the glossing detangler. I use this every single time I shower. I would not dream of not using it. It detangles, it primes, it enhances shine, it improves manageability, that's the biggest part, and protects your hair from damage. So you gotta get it. It's a must. Check out all of Lola V's products at your local Ulta Beauty location to experience the luxurious scent for yourself. Or you can head directly to their website at lolav.com. As our loyal listeners, you'll get an exclusive 15% off your entire order when you use code SheSpeaks15 at checkout. That's 15% off your order at LOLAVIE.com. Noom.com with promo code SheSpeaks15. Please note you can only use one promo code per order, and discounts cannot be combined. After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Your hair will thank you. Cassie's the first one because this day they're doing one-on-one therapy. So Cassie's the first one to do one-on-one therapy. And you guys, I bawled my face off the first time I watched this. When I watched it again for notes, I was like, don't cry, don't cry. But it just was heartbreaking hearing Cassie talk about how she stuffed all of her feelings down so that her mom could be okay. But she was getting made fun of at school and she was having to deal with it. And it was a lot of trauma for her. And Shar is just so actually relieved. She's so grateful to know. She's like, I knew it was something. And she's not afraid of it. She's not scared of it. She's like, okay, now I know. And now I can help. And they definitely had the most progress for sure. Because Cassie, honestly. Well, now Doug shows up. Doug arrives with the creepiest looking little dog. And they're like having to entertain him because Courtney's in there with Krista, and Krista, doesn't know Doug is coming, but Krista's figured out that Doug is coming. She's like, I'm not stupid. I figured that's what's going to happen. So until they're ready for Doug, the rest of the group's like stuck with Doug. So Kim is like, how did you guys meet? We're very curious. And he tells a story that is nothing short of grooming. We met online, actually. But first it was just, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite cup? Because she was 16. Like, what? No. Okay. And then when I found out about her age, I had a talk with Krista, and Krista said, you're a good person. I trust you. Whatever. And the moms and everyone is just appalled. Everyone at one point, I swear Kim is looking at producers like, you know this story and you guys are having them here? Like, no one's going to do anything? What the fuck? And then Dr. Deb comes out and it's like, okay, Doug, let's go. And then Doug's being all weird about the dog. And they're like, we got the dog. You're fine. And I honestly don't even want to go into the details of that session. Watching it again the next time, I'm like, Courtney has to sit there and watch as this fight over was there an affair, was there not an affair happens. And Dr. Deb is just letting it happen. At no point are they really focusing on Courtney. It just was horrendous. And I don't believe that Doug wasn't participating in it, but Krista is a little nuts. So it is really hard to trust just her memory and her account of things. So, but it's just, regardless, Dr. Deb is letting Courtney have to sit there. It's fucked up. It's horrible. And then at the end of the session, Dr. Deb has the nerve to say, I think you guys made a lot of progress. But then Courtney's talking head is, we have made no progress. So Dr. Deb, I can't. Cassie has the most perfect question. I might have already brought this up because it's just spot on. Because Krista's like, I was monitoring her online. I was monitoring her. I was monitoring. And Cassie goes, what was the point of monitoring if it wasn't to protect her from 50-year-old men talking to her? And Krista's like, oh, well, I mean, Courtney's just an old soul. And let's not forget too that Doug mentioned that sheiks and princes or whatever were trying to court Courtney. And Natalie's like, how are they finding a 16-year-old? But I think it's because Courtney had that channel, that YouTube show that her mom helped put on. And, so I think that that's why they were getting attention from men that they should not have been getting attention from. Then, oh dear, the end of this episode and into the next one is Karen just wanted to go to bed and just get ready for bed. So she wanted to go in her bathroom and wash her face and do all of that. But Natalie is in there with Heidi, wasted. And Josie was in there too. But Josie's like, I wasn't doing anything. But Karen gets mad and is yelling, and then Natalie won't stop antagonizing her. Natalie won't just like, because I would like if I knew my mom wanted to get ready for bed, I'd be like, sorry, and I would get out of the bathroom because I just would. That's just instinct, if you're sharing a bathroom. But instead, Natalie just keeps getting in her face, and I'm telling you, they need security for this because like Karen starts yelling, guys, you are about to see a mother-daughter fight. I need her away from me, please. And maybe security did come in or production did step in because then Karen stays in, I think Kim and I don't know, she stays in someone else's room. I can't, who does she stay in? Whatever, doesn't matter. But actually the next day, Natalie was very embarrassed. I was like, we are making progress here. And they both apologized to each other and it's resolved. And I'm like, okay. I think Natalie maybe got something out of this and Karen too. They do their final group session, and Krista is still not understanding the gravity of what she's done. So Courtney just walks out like, fuck this. And Dr. Deb's like, hold on, guys. I have some shady partying gifts for you. They're very shady. Like Karen gets headphones. I'm like, for what? To not listen to Natalie? Like, is that wasn't like one of their issues. Krista gets a map because she gets lost. I'm like, bitch, why are you handing them this shit? My God. But suddenly Kim gets up and almost faints. The paramedics come out because Krista called them. Krista can't wait to call the paramedics. I think Krista's like Alexia. You call 911 for everything. But all Kim just hadn't eaten. But then Kimberly starts doing what she does, taking care of her mom, getting her food, checking in. And Natalie points out, like, well, it seems like Kim really likes having Kimberly around her all the time. And that's not wrong. That's definitely not wrong. Being the person that's taken care of, Kim's very comfortable in that role. Dr. Deb gives them one last journaling assignment. Admit what your fault was in the issue with your mother-daughter relationship, a meaningful apology for these issues between them, and an action plan. Well, Courtney talks to Dr. Deb and is like, I'm really trying here, but I don't really think I have any fault in this relationship. And Dr. Deb goes, and how does that feel to realize that? I'm like, well, they realized that from day one. So this has truly just been exploiting this situation, legitimately. The final ceremonies, they're all pretty positive, honestly. They all like, oh, I got somewhere. We did it. We're great. And they get a little necklace when they get in the cars to leave. No shock. Courtney doesn't want to move forward with their mom, even after Dr. Deb's amazing therapy. And Krista's like, okay, I get it. And then when Krista gets in the car, she sees the necklace and she goes, I should wear this every day until she comes back. Good. Go ahead. Go ahead, Krista. Wear it every day. So, yeah, this show was really fucked up. Genuinely really fucked up. But Shar and Cassie got a lot out of it. I do think Natalie got something out of it. And Karen, I think they did. I think Kim and Kimberly got something out of it, but I kind of don't believe it. That they didn't really get to like it's very textbook, that dynamic, and that needs some major therapy work, not on camera. And so I don't know, maybe a little bit, but I don't know. But yeah, Courtney and Josie and Jessica, they were okay. Josie was like, why am I here? But so Courtney and Krista, they were the ones that should have just never been asked to do this. And this should have just been, let's save Courtney from this fucked up scenario she's in. But no. So yeah, for those of you who went on this journey with me, thank you. This was not as popular, not as popular as it could have, as it should have been. But for those of you who enjoyed it, I appreciate you coming along for this ride during this Bravo drought. Thank you for participating in it because I was like, I've been floundering. I've had like full on existential crises. I'm like, what am I without Bravo? So I've had to figure it out. So thank you guys for joining, and love you, mean it, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks for tuning in to She's Speaking with Emily Hanks. This show is produced, hosted, and edited by me, Emily, and brought to you in partnership with Cloud 10 Media. If you are looking for bonus content, check out the Patreon. The link is in the description. To show some support, you can hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Another free way to support the pod, please rate and/or review on whatever platform you listen. It's free, and it helps the algorithm or something. You could also head to buymeacoffee.com/shespeaks and buy me a coffee or two. Make sure you're following me on all social medias. I am She's Speaking with Emily Hanks across all platforms: Threads, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. That's it. Thank you guys. See you soon.